everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Ad Project Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Joe Scheller from Ad Advance, and today I am joined again by Melissa Barnsdorf. Melissa, it's awesome to have you back on the podcast again today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we wanted Melissa to come in and talk through Walmart advertising. So Melissa's been digging in a lot into Walmart. She's already been on the podcast to kind of talk through some items there, but there's been a lot of updates, a lot of things that we've already learned. We're now Walmart Connect partners, so we're fully tied into the API, pulling in a ton of data, setting up a ton of accounts for different clients. And so there's many different items that we can cover. Before we get into that, I mean, really quick intro. You've done this a couple times now. Like, how'd you get into Ad Advance? What do you do?
Yeah, so I've been at Ad Advance now for a little over 3 years, which is incredible to think about. I started as an account manager and just got my feet wet there, built some really great relationships with some clients, and then had an incredible opportunity from one of my clients to start digging into Walmart. So started there, and we got some really great traction and thought that this was a really great viable opportunity to look to start to build out. So I've been spending more and more time there and learning a lot and having some really good wins along the way.
Yeah. So for let's start. So probably a lot of people listening to the podcast are very in tune with Amazon ads. So you help put together this great list of like the differences and the similarities between the two. And I mean, first when we start, like what's really nice is like general structure is very similar overall. And so it's getting into a lot more of the details. But at the same time, there's like, it's kind of like learning a somewhat different language too, just because things are a little bit different between the two. So maybe can you walk through like, all right, if we're looking at Amazon ads and we're comparing to Walmart ads, like what are some of the key differences there?
Yeah, you're right. It's good to have a good understanding of the terminology because a lot of them are just slightly different, so it
Yeah.
makes it a little bit tricky. But
Yep.
things just as simple as like the ad center on
Sure.
Walmart versus the ad console on Amazon. There's
Or
sellers.
even when I referred to it as Walmart ads,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
officially Walmart Connect, right?
Walmart Connect. Yep,
Yep.
Walmart
So
Connect.
there's Amazon ads and there's Walmart Connect.
Yep, yep,
Yeah. And so I like to say Walmart ad just to keep it similar,
yep,
but
yep.
it's officially Walmart Connect.
Exactly. Yep, that's
Yeah.
the advertising kind of sect of Walmart. But yeah, lots of different terminology changes, seller center versus seller central. So it can kind of trip you up. But it's a different set of terminology there. There's W plus is similar to Amazon Prime. So like you said, yeah, a lot of similarities, though.
Yeah, so I'll just go through the list of a couple other ones. So, product identifier on Amazon, it's ASIN. On Walmart, it's ID.
Yep.
If we look at brands that sell inventory directly to the entity, so a vendor on Amazon ads and 1P.
Yep.
So, kind of similar, we in the Walmart or in the Amazon side, we'll usually go like 1P, 3P, seller
Right.
vendor. Let's see, what else do we got? Sponsored ads compares to sponsored
Sponsored
search.
search. Yep.
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 Let's see, storefront called brand shop
Yep.
in Walmart. And then if we look at brand pages, known as shelves
Shelves. Yeah.
in Walmart.
Yep.
Yeah. So are there any distinctive differences that stick out between all of these, or is it more just like vocabulary changes as you're looking at
And
the different platforms?
Yeah, there's definitely nuances, with regards to the setup of the campaigns, just the UI of the console itself is different. But I guess when you take a step back, there really is a lot of similarities in the basic, how you set up a campaign. The basic structure, I guess, is
Sure.
very, very similar, but the vocabulary is different.
Yeah. No, that sounds good. So as somebody, say we're advertising on Amazon right now, and we want to get into Walmart Connect and start advertising there. Like, what's good ways to start? Where do you focus first?
So if you want to get started on Walmart, I like to if you're on Amazon already, it's good to have an understanding there. What works really well? What are some of your top sellers? I also like to look at, the individual keyword performance. How are things performing there? Because there have been some instances where I've seen some really good crossover performance
Okay.
between the platforms.
Sure.
So, it's not a cut and dry strategy for every single brand, but, there are, like we were saying earlier, there are enough similarities between the platforms that it's something that you really should consider when you're starting on
Sure.
Walmart. One thing to really keep in mind is over time, you'll be able to see on Walmart, like through the search term reports, what performs well. But if you're looking to get a jump start, if your product is really in season, if there's some urgency to really get going,
Yeah.
I recommend looking at, okay, well, what's doing really well on Amazon right now? Because likely there's more historical data there.
Sure.
Look and see what's performing that well there, and then perhaps consider starting a manual campaign on Walmart, seeding that campaign with the well-known targets from Amazon.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So is that like we obviously have our software and tools and system built out for that, but could that be as easy as going through, say, like the search term report
Yep.
and finding solid performing keywords
Exactly.
and now setting up a manual targeting campaign within Walmart Connect?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And so based off of that, if you build off of it, all right, so I have my initial seed keywords, like, and I have my initial manual campaigns. Like, how do you kind of build those out? What are the next steps? So it's like, the equivalent of setting up our sponsored products manual search on Amazon.
Yep.
Like, I get my seed keywords in there.
Yep.
Now, what's like next step